And for 30 years, one family has kept local memories and machines alive. This is a great story. Frank Rooney, now in his 80s, says he's ready to retire from VCR repair, but he's got one problem. He can't seem to find anybody to take over the Billings business. MTN's Marcus Kokova brings us Frank's story of life, love, and loss.
Here, you'll find nothing vintage.
We get sometimes as high as 5-6 VCRs a week.
These are no antiquated anachronisms gathering dust, but well-maintained devices, cutting edge for their age.
The people find their family tapes and they throw their VCRs away.
This is a story of second chances.
There's a certain satisfaction of fixing something, bringing something back from the dead, resurrecting it.
It makes you feel good.
For 30 years, Frank Rooney has fixed things. VCRs, microwaves, cameras. But even earlier than that, the now 81-year-old's path picked him.
Just out of high school and stuff, and I got a draft letter, and so I ended up going into the service in 1962.
As the Army's 132nd Maintenance Battalion's automotive mechanic team leader, Frank became a part of history, fixing things.
I got the first Spearheaders Award since the Second World War. Couldn't get parts at that time. Vietnam was gearing up, so I went to the salvage yard, which was owned by the Germans, and traded cigarettes and booze for parts.
Today, he needs help.
What did you find there, Frank?
Alongside the work Frank is too frail to do, Dave Dilley takes his friend around town for parts and coffee at least once a week.
Frank's still overwhelmed with work here, and I'm coming in one day a week to try to get rid of the backlog.
We turn away probably 80% of the work right now because I just can't do it. Billings is getting too big for me.
Dave says Frank, who took some bad falls, initially became injured because he was trying to keep up with demand in seniority. But Frank was trying to keep busy, keep things alive for a reason.
After my wife passed away, I didn't care if I lived, tell you the truth. We were together for a long time, and so I just started working 7 days a week.
Frank says he knows it's time to let go of Big Sky VCR. He's ready for his second chance. At old age, at time to rest, at time for whatever's ahead. He just needs someone who will give the same care he did to Billings.
If they don't pay enough attention and really interested in it, you're both wasting your time.
He seems ready to take on the next project, whatever that is.
Marcus Kokova, MTN News.
Such a great story.
That is a great story.
Great. You know, I've driven by that store and seen the sign, and it's I bet lots of people have driven by and just thought, oh, you know, VCR repair in 2024, but look at all of the technology he's still working on, and what a sweet story.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of folks who still have VCRs. You know, we have VCRs in my house. And I don't know, there's just something about watching a VCR tape. I don't know,
there's something about that, and also a
different,
lot of people still have a lot of, unless you take your VCRs and get them turned into like a digital format for like your old memories, you know, there's still a lot of kind of like stored memories on VCRs. I feel like people just still have records of their families and events on them. So yeah, you got it. Kind of nice to have.
Yeah, but again, Marcus, what a great story that was.
Great story, great character.
And I got to try to follow that. All right, here we go.
Come on, Millie.